What's up, everybody? This is MJ, and welcome to our Wednesday night broadcast. I'm over here making a mess on my desk. Hope you guys are having a fabulous week and that you are ready for another training because today we are going to be talking about giveaways. Is this a savvy marketing ploy or is it the kiss of death for your shop? So, who I'm talking about right now, for those of you who might have already started with your boutique, maybe you already have some customers, or even those of you who have never started, but you're thinking, how am I going to market my business? Do I need to give things away in the beginning to get my name out there, to get my brand out there, and hopefully the people will come back and buy more from me in the future? So we're going to talk about giveaways. This is where, sometimes they use the word loss leader, where you're giving away something in that people will buy. Is this a good idea? A lot of companies use it, but some of the bigger companies, they can sustain the loss. But you, as a first-time entrepreneur, being brand new in the business, can you afford to give away things in your business? Should you even do it? Or is that going to hurt more in the long run? So get out your notepad, share this video if you're watching this on my page or my profile, because we're going to learn some stuff today. I hope you can hear me over the thunder. It just started raining, but hopefully you can hear me. So there are probably over a dozen different ways that you can price your products when you are new in business. Most people just mark up their stuff based on some percentage or some dollar amount. Sometimes you can, do some creative stuff with the prices, the numbers that you use. There's all kinds of ways that you can decide what to do to price your product. But when it comes time to market them, to getting it out there, do you need a following? What do you do once people are interested in what you have? Should you be giving away your stuff? Now, the short answer is obviously your products in your boutique is not going to make you any money in that transaction, right? If you are making t-shirts or if you are making bottles of lotion or candles or something else of that nature, when you give one to somebody, you're not making a transaction. They got the item for free. But I know why people want to do it. They're thinking, well, if I give them that out of goodwill, they will feel like they need to come back for more when they run out of what it is I gave them. And sometimes that can be true. There are times when I've gotten free products from a company in the form of a sample. So, it comes in the mail, or maybe I pick it up at some type of event. And later on, when I taste it, it's usually something to eat because I like to eat. But later on, when I want more of it, I'll go to their website or go to the store and buy a bigger one for the full price. And that can happen. However, sometimes I get a free product and I never buy it again. Sometimes because I don't like it. Sometimes because the price of the item is something I don't want to pay for it and I never do it again. So was it worth it for them to give me that product when it didn't make them any more money off of me? It depends on how they look at it. I was one that they didn't make any money off of, but what about the people who did come back? Maybe it was worth it. But here's what's really true. A lot of times in the beginning of your business, the reason why you want is because you're not confident in your ability to sell it. A lot of new companies give things away, not because it's just a one-time marketing ploy, but because they think that they can't get someone to pay for it. So when I'm talking about giveaways, I'm not just talking about an introductory offer where you're giving stuff away. I'm talking about also selling your stuff too cheap. To me, that's a giveaway. I have friends who I'm always encouraging to increase their prices or price it where it's fair to them so they can make a profit, but they feel like, oh, nobody's going to pay that. They aren't going to pay that. I asked them if they would pay more and they said no. And so you don't price it at that. But here's what's true. You have to have confidence in not only in your worth, but in the value of what it is that you bring to the market. And it's not just based on what your competitors charge. It's not just based on even what you might think it's worth. It's based on the value to the people who you want to pay. Ultimately, if you don't know what the value is to them, you're not going to know how to price it in a way that gets loyal customers without pricing it out of the market and being too high, but also too low, because if you're giving stuff away, you're not making a profit. When you give away your services, again, when I say giveaway, I'm not talking about just free. I'm talking about undercharging. There is an art and a science to pricing your products. And if you do it the right way, you will make a profit. If you do it the wrong way, you'll be out of business pretty soon because you won't be able to pay your overhead. You won't be able to pay employees. You won't be able to pay for storage and shipping and all of those things if you underprice your products. So giving your stuff away, thinking that if I'm the cheapest, people will buy from me, that sometimes can backfire, because how often do you see a lot and make a conscious or unconscious decision that it must not be as good because they're giving it away or because it's super cheap? When you are out here in your boutique and you're selling things, you can't afford to create a perception that your stuff is not worth anything. There's a difference between giving something away of value and communicating that during the exchange and giving it away because you don't think it's worth it. Maybe you know it's worth it, but you don't know how to communicate it to the people who you want to buy your product. Either one of those can be a damaging scenario. So let's say you're selling, I use Bath and Body products a lot in my examples, and candles, because those are things that I love. But let's say you make a homemade scented candle, and you know good and well Yankee's selling their candles for $20, $25, $30 a pop. You're making something similar, but you're making it by hand in your home factory. You're not in a major distribution or manufacturing process like Yankee Candle is, but for some reason you look at your candle, which could be as high a quality or even better than, because it's handmade, or maybe you use organic products or whatever it is, but you say, my aunt, she would never pay $25 for this candle, or I just don't feel right. Even though you see your competitor doing, hey, you don't feel like you should charge $25. And so you give it away for 10, give it away for 15. The thing is, go up on your price. I mean, you could always go down on your price, excuse me, but it's extremely hard to get customers to pay more for something that you let them have for free or super cheap in the beginning, unless you establish during that initial giveaway conversation that this thing has value. This thing is worth a lot more, but I'm just not charging you that because, and whatever reason that you're doing that, it's an introductory offer. You know, you're our best client, so we're doing it for free, whatever those things are. So you aim your marketing so that you're not just giving your stuff away on the cheap out of a lack of confidence and not communicating its true value. You have to be able to express that in your marketing. And so many people make the mistake of just saying the first 100 people, you get yours free. And people's like, okay, I'll take a free thing. Raise your hand and blink your eyes if you will take something for free, if you like it, even if you don't think it's worth it, because hey, it's no skin off of you, but you won't go back and buy that same thing. I've done that. As a business owner, as a new business owner, as a solopreneur, as a Black female retail owner, you usually cannot compete on price. I'm going to say that again. You usually will not be able to compete on price. You can't be the cheapest when you're comparing yourself to your competitors. Why? They're at a 6 or 7 figure level, maybe even 8 figures. They have a supply chain. They have a manufacturing process that's scaled. You know, they have the economies of scale. You can't compete on price. So then you don't need to think I got to be cheaper to get in the market. What the people might look at is say, well, I hers cheaper. It must not be. We already have to overcome the perception about Black-owned businesses, right? It's not fair, but a lot of times people think it's not as high of a quality, it's not as good of customer service and those types of things. So you don't want to also make them think her stuff is cheap junk, because look how much less she charges for it. Giving it away at a cheap price or giving it away for free can be misplaced and can actually do more harm than good. You have to be confident in your and the value of what you're providing to say, this is what it costs, and either you'll pay it or you won't. I think about this company, I think it's called Commune. They sell new African-American tones instead of that beige color that they sell in stores and called nude that doesn't match most of our skin tones. They sell colors like the shirt I have on, my skin tone, and things of that nature. And their shoes are handmade here in the United States to order when you order them, and they're expensive. They're like hundreds of dollars. To me, it's worth every dime because to have a shoe that matches my skin. But some people on their ads complain, why is it so expensive? I wish it was more affordable. What they don't realize is that there's a value to what these people are doing. They're not making their shoes in sweatshops in Asia. They're not, they're making them by hand. They're making them in this country. They have to pay the people make to work. And so recognizing that, I'm proud of them for not giving up on their price and lowering it, because they wouldn't be in business, quite frankly. What it costs to make a good quality shoe, especially making it to order, is just what it costs. And they are finding their niche among people who understand the value of what they have. They're not giving their shoes away for $49. They're not giving them away for $200. Not the heels. They're actually charging what it's worth, and they're getting it from their people that they want to give it to. You have to be able to target the people who want what you have, and what you have includes the price you charge for it to cover your costs. But you have to get really good at finding your people. Don't lower your prices, giving away your stuff for free because you're afraid you can't find the people who will pay for it. Give it away. It needs to be a limited offer. It needs to be something where you are expressing and letting people know it's worth much more than this. I'm only giving this to you because, and you give them the reason, but don't just give away your stuff. It can be the kiss of death for your shop if you or go to the free level because you're afraid nobody will buy from you. You also don't want to go on the other end and overcharge just because you want to make sure you make some money. But that's a different video for a different day. Today, we're talking about giveaways, which means undercharging or giving your stuff away for free. There are times when it is appropriate for you to give away your stuff. And most times is not that time. In the beginning, maybe you run a sale. Maybe you have a BOGO. Maybe, you may do those things, but ultimately it needs to be driving people back to paying for what you have. I'm trying to think of how many businesses I regularly patronize and pay full price for their products that give me anything. They ain't giving anything. They work it into their pricing structure, but they're not giving anything. They express the value of what they have, and this is the price. They may give you a little coupon off at the beginning or something of that nature, but they're saying this is worth it. It's organic. It's Black owned. It's ecologically responsible. It's sustainable. It's fair trade, whatever their selling point is. It's Black owned. It's Black female owned, whatever that is. And for a person like me, I buy it because of those values, not because if they can give me a whole lot of stuff for free, I'm like, it must not be worth anything, because how can they be in business giving things away? Underpricing what is you say is the best thing since sliced bread, but your price says it's not worth anything. The price says it's really cheap junk, and I'm just hoping I can fool you into buying it. Make sure that when you are marketing and or pricing your products, you want to make sure that when you express what you want to be paid in your marketing, that you make it clear what your stuff is worth. As a small business, again, you cannot compete on price. You can't be the cheapest. Almost ever. You can't, I say almost ever, almost never can you be the cheapest when you are a small business owner. You can't compete with Target when you're first starting out. They have stores all over the United States. They've been in business for decades. And so they can afford to sell stuff cheap. Don't go to your competitors asking what you should charge. You need to know how to use the costing and pricing formulas to figure out what your stuff costs, and then figure out how to get that price that you need to charge from those individuals. You don't lowball it and say, well, I don't think they'll pay $25 for my candle, which is better than Yankees. You need to be able to express in your marketing that it's better than Yankees. You may not say those exact words, but that's what you need to express to people. But you're not a marketing expert. And I get that. You've been probably learning stuff on YouTube or on Facebook about how to market. And everybody is so sure that if you do these things, this is what will happen. I'm going to give you a little clue. It's going to save you some time and frustration. There is not one marketing strategy that will work for everybody, every boutique or shop, every owner, every product, every website. It does not exist. There are some commonalities that can work, but you have to be able to tweak and fine tune your marketing strategy for your market, your target audience, for you personally. Because remember, if you see in my other videos, I talk about that your company is a reflection of who you are. Your brand and your company's brand should be lockstep. So that means your marketing strategy needs to be lockstep with who you are and who your company is. It can't be that the boutique over there, you just do exactly what they do and you'll make it. Some of what they do may work for you, some of it may not. Be able to give away stuff and eventually drum up enough business to pay for those giveaways. That may not work for you. Depending on what you sell, it might not be feasible for you to give it away to the masses. Maybe you do give it away to a few people and if they're helping you be an ambassador for your shop, but you don't want to give stuff away out of fear that nobody will pay for it. Because the fear, they'll be able to smell it on you. The fear, the lack of confidence, that's why they won't come back, because they're going to sense that, you know how you get that feeling? Women often get it, that feeling in the pit of your stomach that something's not right. That is the feeling that people can sense, or they get from what they sense in you when you don't believe in what you're selling, when you don't believe it's worth it. And they're resistant to it, and they don't even know why they're resistant to you and buying your product. But what it is they don't see that assuredness that they're making a good purchase. You have to be able to customers feel assured, feel confident in your ability to serve their needs. I pay top dollar as a consumer for quite a few of the things that I buy personally, because I believe in the quality, I believe in the company, I believe in the owner. I just know it's better, or sometimes it's just because I believe in their cause. And that's why I spend my money the way I do. I'm not the only one. You need to find the people who will pay what you're worth, who aren't just looking for giveaways. So yes, it can be a savvy marketing ploy sometimes to give away a few things. But if you give away too much, you're going to be out of business soon. It takes money to make money. Sometimes you do have to take a loss, lead with a loss, or do a discount or coupon, those types of things. Those things do work, but it cannot be that you're doing it from a place of fear. It needs to be a part of a solid, cohesive, overall marketing strategy, where giveaways is just a small part, reduced prices is just a small part, but overall, you're demanding what you products are worth. But in the beginning, it can be difficult to have that confidence, especially if you've never sold anything. A lot of the people I work with, they're coming to it from a perspective of never really selling their stuff on a consistent basis. They've either given their stuff away, done it as a volunteer, or just taken donations, or just had a really low ball price because they were just doing it for fun. But that mentality doesn't transfer over into a business that you're trying to grow to 6 or 7 figures. At the 6 or 7 figure goal level, you need to be charging what it's worth, and you need to confidently charge what it's worth and be able to express in clear language why it's worth that. And don't apologize for charging what it's worth. That apologizing, even if you don't apologize aloud, that apologetic attitude when you're charging people more for what you have, that's what makes them think, I think they're just getting over on the price. It's not really worth that. I can just sense it. You know how you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach that something off? That's what happens when you're like, ooh, I don't want to really charge $50 for this customized item, even though you know it's worth that and more, because you know that other things that look like what that is, they might only be charging $25. It don't matter what they're charging. They might be losing money. They might have some other things that are that are making up for the lost leader. Be really careful doing what other people are doing without having an understanding up close of why they're doing it. Yes, you can see what your competitors appear to be doing, but if you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, you can think for your business that is actually a good idea for their business. They have a different store. They have a different boutique from you. So when you're thinking about marketing, when you're thinking about giveaways, and again, remember, giveaways are not just free items. They are underpriced items that are chronically underpriced. When you think in terms of those items, be really sure that you're not doing it from a place of fear, from a place of lacking. Rather, you're doing it as a traceable, limited time marketing, savvy marketing strategy but ultimately you're expressing the value of what you're selling so that when they need another one, they will come back to you and gladly pay full price because you've shown them the quality. They've had the item in their possession and they realize you gave it away free for a reason, but it wasn't because it wasn't worth the full price. And if you need help building that confidence, building that certainty, building your pricing so that you get what you deserve, so that you get what it takes to stay in business, so that you're not matching your competitors' prices blindly without knowing their backstory, just thinking, well, everybody else charges 20 bucks, I'm gonna charge 20 bucks, but then you're out of business within a couple of months. If you need help working on your marketing and your pricing and those other strategies, then I invite you to reach out right now and book a call with me. It's a free breakthrough call at www.melaniehunter.com/chat. We'll get on the phone and we'll talk about what are your concerns with your marketing and your pricing? What has been holding you back? Why are you losing money? What is really going on in behind the scenes in your business with these things? And then we're going to look at what do you want to be charging? Like, what do you think your stuff is worth? What's the real value of your dream for your shop and your boutique? Why are you even in business? Why do you want to have this business? What are you trying to accomplish? And then we're going to map out a game plan to get you there fast, to get you there actually making a up away doesn't make you a profit, but we're going to work out how to get you there profitably. And if it's a fit for us to work together, we're going to have a conversation about what that looks like. But either way, you're going to get a ton of value. You're going to know what's holding you back from the profit and the success that you desire, and you're going to know what your next steps are. But it starts with a phone conversation. And fortunately, this particular giveaway is absolutely free, but it's not because there's no value in it. It's because I want to help you get to where you want to be with your shop, with your boutique, so that you can get the freedom and the impact and the income that you want in your life. So book your free call right now, www.melaniehunter.com. That's Melanie with 2 L's, hunter.com/chat. Be sure to fill out the application because that's the only way you can confirm your call. And then we'll talk in the next couple of days about what it's going to take to get you into your freedom boutique. Hopefully this year, 2021 is zipping by fast, but we've under 9 months to get you to where you want to be in your business. And I'd like to help you on your journey. So book your call, melaniehunter.com/chat, and let's have a conversation soon. It's been my joy to share with you today. I hope you will book your call if you need my help, and also join me, I think on Friday, when I'll be back with another powerful training about how Black all this country are starting amazing dream boutiques and how you also can achieve the same thing. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.